couple of devices, so I thought I'd give it a whirl. I got 1,000 windows open here. So I'm going to make sure that they are good. Okay. In every painful situation, there are powerful lessons of truth. Open your heart and mind to the infinite beauty that whispers within your heavenly core. And it does. So if you're feeling stressed out today, and I've been talking to some people and they're feeling extra stressed out, just know that this is a temporary condition, that this is just one step on the staircase to success. And not everyone is fully going to understand the glory of the man. Listen to the phone. It's going. How is everybody today? Hey, Dee Dee, how are you today? Just testing a few things on the system. You are truly loved, and light is awakening within your deepest core. Remember that when you're feeling stressed out, connect with someone that you love. Maybe go for a long walk with your pets, have an enjoyable meal. But if you can, go outside, hug a tree. Connect with nature once again. That's where you find all the grounding elements of the universe. I highly recommend that for anybody to do. Learn to see life as a precious gift. Believe in the power of positive thinking. I pray you feel supported and loved in this new week. And everyone right now, because of these times, because of the pandemic, some of my friends in New York right now are under a lot of snow and they're shoveling. And I don't think they're used to having this much snow. It's been kind of light in Toronto this year. We've only had, I would say, 1 or 2 days where the snow was fairly heavy. Today is nice. It's fairly sunny. It is like -7 Celsius. So if you're not a big fan of cold weather, I highly suggest staying indoors. But you know what? If you can, get some fresh air. It'll do a world of good for you. We are all connected on many levels of consciousness. So when you choose to be nasty to your fellow human beings, you are on some level being very disrespectful to yourself. Mookie! How are you, Mookie? What is the time, Mookie, where you are right now? It's lunchtime here. I'm just taking a quick little break. Thought I'd connect here with a few people, test a few things. Tomorrow is supposed to be -60. Oh my Lord. That is real cold. That's dangerous cold. 0836. Okay. What does that mean to you? What is that number? Does anybody else know what that number means? Have you been watching any of the business shows at all? Relationships are like gardens. They must take time every day to be nourished with light and love. And it's true. We have to take care of each other in these trying times. Let me look right here. I thought you were calling me Lukey. Hey, Luke, how are you? Are you home right now? Are you doing your thing? Enjoying the weather? I wonder if you can hear all that drilling. They're drilling like crazy just below me. It's a good test for the microphone to see. There you are. Just invited you. All right. You never know. We might get lucky and see Randy. There you go. Mondays for a lot of people are super hectic, crazy times. So just be extra patient with the people around you. And if we can inspire each other, at lunchtime for a few minutes each day to help keep us all balanced. I'm also testing the light right now. It's quite nice. Let's see here. Do I have that on? I don't even think I need anything on. I think the lighting is so good right now. You are divine perfection emotion. Let your heart awaken to new levels of peace. Choose to be patient and kind to yourself in this new year of healing. I highly recommend that. I have not. Here, why don't we do that? Mookie, could you talk right now, or are you working? I'll invite him anyways. We'll see. Haven't talked to Mookie in, my lord, forever. Can you guys hear all the drilling in the background there? There's Mookie. He's in the scene. All right. Do you want to do wake? Oh, Randy's sleeping. No, I don't want to wake up Randy. That would not be a good idea. You're so funny. No, I have his phone number. Last thing I'm going to do is wake him up. No, I'm just going to be on for a few minutes. That's so funny. That's very kind of you, though, sir. On Twitter. I rarely get people who connect through comment on Twitter. It's interesting to see that today. Let your heart soar knowing you are loved. You are divine perfection. Oh, my Lord. Did you hear that? Hey, Mookie.
Yeah,
how are you? Yeah, I can hear you. I can barely hear myself for all the vibration.
yeah, it's I'm in my truck.
Oh, is that your truck doing that?
Yeah, it's I got an old Jeep.
Yeah.
And the roads here are, I'm driving on like 2 inches of ice, so nothing's real smooth.
How have you been? I haven't heard from you, seen of you in quite a while. I've seen in comments. You know what? Your signal's good. Your background is really good. Like, you're getting a good signal.
Oh shit, you guys can see me.
Yeah.
This is my first time being on somebody else's video for HAP.
Yeah? Well, that's good. I'm worth it.
You're the only reason I came on here.
Oh, thanks, man. It's been quite a while.
Well, once Periscope said they were going to quit, a lot of the steam went out of it.
Yeah, I believe that. I'm so glad to see you here. Are you going to start doing your own shows?
I did a little bit, mainly the same thing. I basically just converted what I did on Periscope into HAP. Yeah. But usually just 8 or 9 minute segments of me ranting about whatever. I always used Periscope and now HAP for, like, nothing against the viewers, but I don't care. I used it to clear my own thoughts and articulate what I was trying to get going on.
Yeah, it's like a form of therapy for you?
Like you read out those hippie aspirations to try to get yourself and other people into the right mindset.
Yeah.
I would just shout at myself and try to clarify my thoughts. Like, okay, these are my affirmations.
Yeah, but whatever works, right? If that works for you, then that's what you do.
Yeah, no, and that's like my knee jerk when you give out those affirmations. I'm always like, God damn hippies! But then, like at the end of the day, I'm like, well, fuck, if it works for you and your people.
Yes, my people. Win. I like that. So I'm gonna try to get Ravi on here occasionally too.
And yeah, I think me and Ravi are much more closer mindset than like me and you are.
I think you and Randy W. Horton would be more the same mindset, because Randy is like straight from the hip, very logical. Don't mess with me.
Yeah, I used to watch his stuff coming from Saudi Arabia when I was in Korea.
Well, he's been on the air for a very, very long time.
So,
what time is it where you are right now? It looks like the sun is going up or down.
It's just coming up.
Just coming up.
Yeah, we're finally getting. The sun will actually breach the horizon a little after 9.
Yeah.
And
Do you mind telling the people where you're from, where we're seeing these beautiful views? Oh, you're breaking up a bit.
Yeah, it's give me 2 minutes.
Oh, do you usually lose signal here? Is that why? Okay.
Yeah, it's because of where I am and to hit all the satellites, all the communication satellites, everything has to be almost pointed at the horizon. And what happens is we get pockets of everything's concentrated here, right? Because there's not very many people, so we all live in these concentrated pockets. So to get the signals, they all have to be concentrated, and I'm driving past one of the points that they send all the signals out. So it interferes with everything else. Like to send out the satellite signals, it fucks with the cell signals.
I'm amazed at how good your picture is.
One thing I will give Alaska is the economics, the internal economics.
Yes.
And the Alaskan government has been very good about keeping a lot of Alaskan resources paying for Alaskan services. So the interior roads in Alaska,
yes,
compared to the like if you looked at just the tax base of the population, this should be ghetto as, it should be horrible out here, right? But because the corporations that do all the mining and all the drilling and all the natural resource harvesting, those corporations are so tightly regulated by the government on not only how they have to do it, but what they have to give back, that our roads are really good. Our telecommunication network is the best I've seen since I left Asia. So, yeah, that way, Alaska's very well ran. And that's a result, is the internet connection is amazing.
Because I've seen many broadcasts on here where the internet is horrible.
And like I said, I think it comes down to Alaska was a later settled state. And especially the tribal councils up here for the natives, they structured everything much better, and overall that improved everything for the quality of the state. So a lot of the resources that in other states, at least I don't know how Canada is structured.
Yeah.
Right? Like I just don't understand.
You're still working, right? You're still employed, and you've got a job. Yes. And that's great.
Because my job doesn't have anything to do with tourism. Like people who have to rely on tourism up here just got gutted.
Yeah, they would.
But so much of it has to do with mining and the oil industry that none of those jobs went anywhere. So, and there's such a, like I said, the state is so well ran, and there's such a reserve in the budgets that it didn't really affect the majority of the population. Some people, like I said, got gutted because there was no tourism this year, and there's nothing really else for them to do. But yeah, the oil industry was fine. All the mining was fine. So, and Alaskans have there's a lot of protections. If you're a resident of Alaska, you can get a subsistence hunting license.
Right.
So that can take care of a lot of people.
We're starting to lose you now. Oh no, you're back. You're back now. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that native Alaska, like residents of Alaska that now, like, I could apply for a lot of that if I wanted to. If I wanted to go out and be like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I want 4 caribou. I can go hunt 4 caribou, and that's
a lot of
an
meat.
easy 400 or 500 pounds of meat.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And a moose, which can again be another 400 pounds of meat.
Hi, Richard.
So,
yeah, I'm just saying hi to people as they come in. Yeah.
oh yeah, like I said, you gotta. It's one of the things that, again, even though that we're so different, that I've always. You bring in a lot of people. Like a lot of people respond to how you talk and how you live your life and the affirmations that you give out.
Well, I think of you as an inspiration as well, sir. Like here's the thing, where you are right now. Was I right to read as what I did? -60. Is that true?
Tomorrow is out. Okay, this winter
Yeah.
has been 1,000 times warmer than last
Right.
year. But this will be the first time that I'm here. If tomorrow is true, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's supposed to be midday tomorrow to like real early Wednesday morning. Sometime in there's a front coming in from the north
Yes.
that it should push. They're predicting sub -60 weather.
That's insane.
And
That's insane.
Out.
And are we talking Fahrenheit?
yes.
Oh my lord! So is that the kind of weather where you throw the water in the air and it freezes instantly?
Okay, so -60 is supposed to be like the magic number here that you can do that.
I would
So-
love to see you do that. If you could do that, I would love to see that.
Yeah, I have to go into work tomorrow, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Because
All right.
how do I say that? The different, like when you walk outside at that weather,
Mm-hmm.
last year we had 6 weeks that were -40 or below,
Yeah.
and 2 of those weeks that were -50 and below. So the entire time, and that's one of the things, Richard, we don't get a lot of snow
Yeah.
because once it hits below -20, it doesn't really snow anymore.
No,
There's no
it
moisture
wouldn't-
in the air
Yeah. It
to
wouldn't.
snow. And
Some
like,
people say you have Mars weather.
I don't know. It's not bad. There's no wind.
Yeah.
Fairbanks sits in a huge bowl, which I wasn't expecting. Like there's just no wind here. There's never that's all year. There's almost never any wind here in Fairbanks.
That's crazy.
So it's weird. It's weird. So like I said, when you go outside, it's just cold. And last year I grabbed a aluminum door
Mm-hmm.
when I was dropping off my kids, and like I left 3 of my fingerprints on the doors.
Oh wow.
So that's how fast it froze.
Oh my God. So it's insanely dangerous. Is depression high there?
Yeah. I don't know how I mean, a couple of guys I work with have been here either their whole lives or 20 plus years.
Yeah.
So I pop vitamin D like it's candy.
You should. That's really bright.
So,
It's good for COVID too.
and yeah, I also have a bunch of grow lights in my living room.
Ah, okay.
We have I like
Yeah.
plants,
Yeah.
so I grew peppers, and I got Thai basil growing right now, and so that helps too. But yeah,
Yes.
it sucks because it gets down to we only had like 2.5, 3 hours of daylight for quite a while.
You could go stir crazy easily there. How many months do you have of warm weather? Like 3?
I will say that your definition of warm while you're
Yes.
here
Yeah.
becomes a lot different. Last year, like I said, we had those six solid weeks
Right.
where it was -40 and below, right? About 2 weeks after that, it went from like -30
Mhm.
to 0. Right?
Okay. So 0
And
is a high.
I
Zero's
remember
the-
walking out. Yeah. Well, like I said, for like 2 solid months, it had been super like -25, -30, and then for a long time it was below -40. I walked outside when it was 0 to go warm up my car and get it all ready so I could take my wife and kids to work and school. And I was like, oh man, it's really warm. Like, I really thought
It was warm.
like I walked out and I felt like, oh shit, it's warm.
Yeah, but it
Like,
wasn't.
I don't even need a hat. Well, not till I looked, I was like, shit, it's still 0. It was like -2 degrees or something when I passed the bank.
So your body's adjusted, basically.
I think that in the short term, yeah, I think your body adjusts, and mentally, I think mentally you still can't sit out there for, you can't sit outside for an hour, but, and like one of the guys I work with never wears a jacket.
Ever.
-40 below, he doesn't put a jacket on. He leaves the jacket in his truck, but that 60-foot walk between the building and his truck.
Oh, is that you? Is that you doing that, or is that me? It's hard to know. I think.
Yeah. Did that stop it?
Maybe. I don't know. I've got stuff going on below me too. Can you hear weird stuff through mine?
I can't hear anything.
Thank God.
I just hear your voice.
That's great. That's what I want to hear. Someone said here, is it true that people in Alaska drive a lot of alcohol to warm up their
drink a lot? I will say that
he says drive. He's got drive to warm up their shelves. What does that mean?
When you drink, your body flushes, so you feel warmer.
Okay.
I will say this, despite its incredibly small population, and we only have like 80,000 people in this whole province of where I live.
That's incredible.
Right?
That's incredible.
Yeah, and it's big. So Anchorage holds over half of the state.
Yeah.
Like 400,000 people live in Anchorage. Another 100,000 live in Juneau. There's like 80,000 in the Fairbanks, we'll call it like a borough.
Yeah.
Is a big area. It's huge. And they did that to try to get the rest of the 80,000, and then the other 20,000 occupy almost no land. There's almost no people in the rest of the state, which is like half of it.
Richard says that zinc is also really good for COVID. Do you ever?
Yeah. That's COVID is not. I mean, people here get worried about it, but you don't survive out in these conditions. And like, if you were gonna get sick, you would have gotten sick a long time before COVID's gonna get here.
Yeah, agreed. So Richard Roberts says he has to get back to his daily job duties, but he wants you to stay warm and take care. And he put
Thank you, Richard.
And he put Mookie. So Mookie's got some love.
Autocorrect.
So Mookie's definitely got some love out there. See, it's out there.
But yeah, as far as drinking goes, you can't. It's very hard to categorize a typical Alaskan.
Right.
People come here from all over the world. They come here for their own reasons. There are some people that drink like fish.
Yeah.
Amounts that impress me. Like amazing, like how do you live? Like a liter or more a day of hard alcohol.
Right.
Where I'm like, you should die. Like, I don't want you to die, but how do you do that?
It's crazy.
And there's a lot of really religious people here who don't drink at all.
Yes.
So I mean, there's both ends of the spectrum.
So the Lord is fueling them. Is that what you're saying? The Lord is keeping them going, grounded. Faith.
I don't know. Like I said, there's a huge spectrum of people out here.
Yeah.
So yes, a lot of people do drink an amazing amount. Mm-hmm. But then, like I said, there's a lot of people that don't drink.
I have a couple of questions. So the housing cost, is it expensive or is it cheap?
I lived in Asia. Like I lived in Korea for 12 years, right?
Right. And that was amazing,
So
right?
for me, it was interesting. It was good for me. It's like anything else. It's what you get, like what you get out of it's going to be very different than what I get. Like someone
Right.
like you who's relatively open and positive,
Yeah.
you might really enjoy it. You're going to learn a bunch of new shit. You're going to get people who have a Confucius-based culture.
Yeah.
Is going to be really different for you. But you live in Toronto, right?
Yes, I do in Canada. Correct.
Okay, so that's right by New York. That's like a really metropolitan area, right?
Yeah, Toronto's beautiful. Yeah, so lots of people,
So
hustle, bustle. Not right now with COVID, but yeah,
yeah, so it's a lot different than like I grew up in the Midwest,
right.
like the equivalent of like Sacagawea province in Canada, where people don't travel, nothing's new, the
Yeah.
culture is very static. So it can be a real culture shock. So for me, housing costs were very normal.
Okay.
I make a lot more money. I
Yes.
make about 50% more than I did in Korea, and the housing costs are the same.
Oh,
So,
okay. So it's definitely better for you.
I mean, roughly, they're not quite, but they're about equivalent.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
listen,
they're not
I,
they're not 50% greater.
I always end my show with what you're grateful for. If you could just give me a moment, yeah, moment of your time, the last minute here, to tell me what you're grateful for.
Uh, I have a good job. My kids are warm, healthy, and fed. And after that, like I don't know, I've said that before. After that, everything's a luxury.
It
My kids
is.
are warm, they're healthy, they're fed, and they're
Yeah.
safe. Like my kids aren't in danger from anything. Like I don't have to worry about a landmine on a playground or I don't know. I'm thankful
We've
for
talked
things
about
like
this
that.
before. Someone I knew who was very wealthy financially said to me, "I'm warm, dry, fed," and because I'd always ask him how he's doing, and he said, "I'm doing great because I'm warm, dry, fed." And the reason for him that meant so much was when he was a kid, he said there was always one of those missing.
And yeah,
He's so
that's a huge thing. You grow up
he's,
poor and just being fed.
hmm
I went to the I don't know if you guys got them Costco.
yes, of course, yeah,
Okay, like I never went to them in Korea. We didn't have them, right?
right,
But I went to Costco with my wife. I got her whatever she wanted. I didn't give my kids whatever they want, but I got them a lot of stuff. And I went and I never looked at a price tag.
right,
So I dropped like $600 at Costco.
yes,
I had no idea how much it was going to be until I
right,
got to the register.
hmm
And I was not worried about it at all.
oh,
And
good,
I am not it. Like that almost made me cry.
oh,
Like thinking about it, I was like, this is so much different than how I came up, or
yeah,
especially when I was a young man and I had no idea how to work and like I had nothing like get a job, work at a factory, drink yourself to death in your early 50s. That was like my life goal. Like that was just the trajectory.
yeah,
And $600 was an impossible amount when I was 20.
right,
Like I knew people had that much. That was an impossible amount for me.
hmm
And like I said, I'm at that point where I'm like, I didn't even think about it. I just, yeah, what? Yeah, yeah. Just put it on the card. I paid it off. It's done.
yeah. It's a great feeling to be a good provider for your family.
And yeah, like
It's very satisfying. I totally
I'm
agree
very
with that.
thankful. I some of that was, I mean, I made the decisions, but they weren't planned decisions. I was very fortunate in sometimes who I listened to,
Hmm.
like when they were like, "Hey, do this," or "Hey, come over here and try this."
Yeah,
And some of them were just I was open to new shit and I did it. But I'm thankful for that. That's what I'm thankful for is that
the
I spent $600
like right
for
here we
nothing.
get agree. I think about with your warm, dry, fed, and the other comment we got is being healthy and safe is the most important things. And I would agree. But your state of mind is probably the most important. Because if you don't have your state of mind, it's pretty difficult to enjoy everything else. Unless you're completely gone, and then you don't know any different. But
I think your state of mind is, I think that's one of the things where, like, with your affirmations, right?
mm-hmm.
I think you, to a large extent, I think you choose your state of mind. You choose how you're going to look at shit. And I think that helps feed into, because if you're open to changes, right? So if you're very static and you're like, oh, life sucks, it's always going to suck, wah, wah, wah,
Mm-hmm.
then you're never going to be open to, hey, I need to leave Toronto to go try insert whatever the opportunity is.
Yeah, agreed.
And like I said, that's what I did. When I left the foundry,
Mm-hmm.
which was a secure union job, I thought my parents and grandparents were gonna fucking kill me.
Right.
They thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you've had that job for 2 years. I was 18. How can you leave? You're so
Yeah.
stupid. You know, my grandfather had worked there for 35 years. They couldn't believe it.
You want a better life. You wanted adventure.
And I didn't get it.
Yeah.
For 10 years, I didn't get it. And then I joined the military. But like, I tried a lot of things in those 10 years. They just
Mm-hmm.
sucked. But my mindset is what just like, okay, this doesn't work. Go to the next thing. This doesn't work. Go to the next thing. And like I said, I think that's one of the reasons I like you,
Mm-hmm.
is that even though we have very different mental spaces, I think
Yeah.
that openness, that we call it student of life mentality,
Yes. Yeah.
is that's what draws me to you. Even though, like I said, my knee jerk is always like, hippie. But like
You're
I
not
said,
the
it's
only
an
one. You're not
honest
the only
hippie.
one. Yeah.
And I respect that. It's an honest mindset, I think.
I think good energy knows good energy. We're going to end it on there, my friend. So, Chris,
we need to hear what you're thankful for.
Okay. In this current moment, I'm very grateful that my parents are still alive, because they've had a really rough go the last year. So to still have them on the planet, still, fighting and keeping each other somewhat sane at times, but they have true love. So I'm happy to have that example in my life. That makes me feel grateful. Yeah. And our friendship, believe it or not, I really enjoy your insights, and I love the way you view life. So I really enjoyed this time today. I felt like I left the planet for a little while. I was living there with you, but I don't like the -60. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, it's like anything else. You get used to it. I'm wearing a Patagonia. I don't know. I'm wearing a $600 jacket.
Yeah.
I didn't pay $600, but like I said, you just adjust. It's like anything else.
You know what Dee Dee
adjust.
said?
You wear better clothing.
He reminds me of Randy. You, not me. So I think that's a compliment. That's a compliment. She loves Randy. Dee Dee loves Randy. So you're doing great.
If I was a tenth of as successful as Randy was, I would be happy.
Randy would love to hear that. Listen, you take care of yourself. Keep shining your light where you can. Okay, my friend? Thank you. I had a great time.
See you, Mike.